If you are struggling to grow your med spa, or you're tired of trying everything and still not seeing results, then this is the right video for you. I'm breaking down exactly why things aren't working and what you need to do to finally turn it around. Today we will talk about something that most med spas overlook, hence they keep chasing those low quality Groupon clients and never really manage to scale to 6 figures a month. So what exactly is this game changer that separates mediocre med spas from the market leaders? It's your client LTV, your client lifetime value, which tells you the total revenue you can expect to earn from a single client over the entire time they keep booking treatments with you. The higher your LTV, the better for your med spa. Why? Because if your LTV increases, but your cost to acquire a client stays the same, your return on investment increases as well, thus you make more money. So for example, let's say you have a lip filler client that comes in once a year for lips, which let's say your lip filler is $500. And they also do Botox, they also come in for Botox every 3 months, and let's say they get 30 units and your unit is, let's say, $10. So quarterly, every 3 months they spend $300 with you, which means over a year that's $1,200, plus they also spend another $500 on top of that because they get their lips done. So let's say they keep booking treatments with you for 5 years, that means their LTV is $8,500. $8,500 over the 5 years they have kept booking treatments with you. For example, if there's a Medspa A, that has LTV, lifetime value of $5,000, so average client spends about $5,000 with them before they never show up. And then there's a second Medspa that has LTV of $10,000. Then in order for the first Medspa, the Medspa A, to generate the same revenue as Medspa B, they need to acquire twice as many new patients and do twice as many appointments. I mean, do you see the difference? Do you see how big of a difference this makes? And I get it, you've been probably told to focus on lowering your CAC, your cost to acquire a client, whether that be your CPL, cost per lead, whether that be your website visit, whatever that might be, but you've been probably told to focus on lowering CAC, which is good, don't get me wrong, lowering your CAC, that's amazing. However, most med spas do it at the cost of their close rate and their client satisfaction, both of which play a huge role in increasing your LTV. So what is close rate? Close rate indicates or tells you how many, so let's say 1 out of how many leads you can convert into paying patients. So if you generate 100 leads from your ads and you're able to turn 20 of those into paying patients, then that means your close rate is 20%. Obviously, higher the close rate, the better. However, let me provide you with the right expectations and just give you peace of mind. The average med spa closes about 10 to 15% of their leads. And if you're just starting out, like, do not expect to be closing 20% of your leads or even more. Just do not expect to be doing that because probably your ads aren't that good. So you are getting a lot of trashy leads. And obviously, the lower the quality of your leads, the lower will be your close rate, because if you are getting people who aren't really serious about the treatment, they aren't really serious about getting treatment and actually showing up at your med spa, then your close rate will be a lot lower. Now, moving on to client satisfaction. What I mean by client satisfaction is to what extent you can satisfy your clients' needs and solve their problems. Are you licensed to do all the treatments they are looking for or need? Do you know exactly what they're looking for? Do you know their long-term goals? Do you know what they're looking for besides the one treatment you book them in for? You need to find it out as soon as they become a lead. Can they even afford it? If not, what treatment should they do instead? This is why you need to ask them questions that will make them open up to you, and more importantly, you need to care. You need to listen to them and actually care. And if you combine all of this with your own value ladder, more on this in a second, your LTV will go through the roof. You see, in a nutshell, the higher your close rate, the better, because you get more people through the door, and the more people through the door you get, the more opportunities you get for increasing your LTV. And it's even more important when it comes to your client satisfaction, because if you cannot deliver results, cannot help them solve their problems, whatever that might be, for example, solving the problem of them not having the lips they have always wanted, then they won't be coming back, which means they won't generate you any more revenue, which means your LTV will lower, which in a nutshell means you'll make a lot less money and will have to go out there seeking new patients, and repeat the cycle over and over and over again, with each time it being more difficult than before. And eventually you will have such a bad reputation in your area that you will no longer be able to acquire any new clients. And you don't want that, do you? And that's why a good thing to do, besides honing in on your sales skills and increasing your close rate, is to create your own value letter. Where at the very beginning of your value letter, you'll have a treatment that almost anyone can afford but delivers results. And once they come in, they get a treatment and they see that, hey, you are the real deal, they will know, like, and more importantly, trust you. They will be more curious and they will be more willing to try your other treatments that are more expensive. This is exactly why it is important to not have just a single treatment in mind for them, but a full plan, with your value letter guiding them step by step. So when someone comes in for, I don't know, lip fillers, let's say, ask them questions, find out about their problems, see if there's anything else they're dealing with. Do they struggle with wrinkles? Do they struggle with fine lines? Do they struggle with jawline definition? Find out what they are looking to solve besides that one treatment. And suddenly you are not just their lip person, but you are their go-to beauty expert. And they know that, hey, if I have any problem, whether that be my skin, whether that be my jawline definition, whether that be my lips, whether that be my wrinkles, whatever, they know where to go. Because now they don't see you just as a lip person, but they see you as their go-to beauty expert. Now, keep in mind your value letter is going to be slightly different for each patient based on what they're looking for, what they're looking to solve. However, you can still add a few foundational steps, foundational treatments that anyone can benefit from. For example, if you are advertising total face rejuvenation for ladies 50 plus, by the way, I'm sure you already know this, but people don't buy the treatment, they buy the result, they buy the solution, aka what the treatment does for them. Then you should have your own value letter prepared, where at the very beginning you have a treatment that most of them can afford and it brings results. You see, by creating your own value letter, the entry point or the barrier for them to test out the waters is so low that they are willing to take the risk. I mean, remember, they don't quite trust you, or at least they don't trust you as much as they will once you deliver results. And this is why having value letter helps, because you are decreasing the entry point. So it is a lot easier for them to go to someone they don't quite know whether they can actually help them if it's a treatment that is $50 compared if they were to spend, I don't know, $500. That's a huge difference. I mean, a lot more people are willing to sacrifice $50 than to sacrifice $500. And this is precisely where a lot of med spas fail. They may be good at what they do. They may be good at their treatments. They may be phenomenal. But the mistake they make, the mistake that pretty much prevents them from scaling to 6 figures a month, or at least leaves a lot of money on the table each month, is expecting their first-time patients to show up for a treatment that is super expensive. They are expecting to get patients who will pay them thousands of dollars on their first visit. And that's not how it works. Now, yes, some patients are like that, but they won't pay that kind of money on their first visit unless they already see you as the trusted authority. Which, by the way, only happens with referrals or if your content game is really strong. Also, the process of upselling and cross-selling between the treatments of your value letter shouldn't feel salesy. It should feel like you are there for them, like you are helping them achieve their bigger beauty goals. Always make it about them. Help them connect the dots between what they want and how your treatments fit into that. And if they are looking for transformation and you already know that a transformation will require them to pay a little bit more money, then you can always just downsell them if they cannot afford it. If they can't commit to a full filler package today, offer a smaller session or another low ticket treatment that will keep them moving forward and climbing up your value ladder. And if you do a good job and provide a lot of value, you will quickly realize who are your highest quality patients. Those will be the ones who will climb your value ladder and continue climbing it. And they will keep on saying yes and yes to every treatment or every recommendation you make to them. And just a heads up, do not ignore the patients who don't climb your value ladder right away. You need to keep delivering 10 out of 10 experience, because even those, you could say, lower quality clients, they are still walking billboards for your med spa. If you drop ball on them and decide like, hey, I don't want to serve you anymore because you don't make me that much money, then they are the ones who can, leave all the bad reviews or spread the word of mouth that you do not want. But when you do a good job and treat them well, they will tell their friends and most likely will even come back when the timing is right and climb your value ladder. But yes, maybe they will never reach the upper echelons, but who knows, just because of you still delivering the 10 out of 10 experience regardless of how much they make you, and them saying that, hey, yeah, like you are a real human being and that you don't really care about money, then they will keep on booking with you, and maybe they will go from $50 treatment to $500 treatment, which is a lot more, as if you just decided like, hey, I don't want to serve you anymore, then you will only make $50 out of them. But now, since you are delivering value, even though they don't make you much money in the beginning, they will decide like, hey, I want to go to this person for my lip filler, and boom, suddenly they spent $500 with you. And if you found this video helpful, then don't forget to subscribe, like, comment your thoughts, and if you would like to connect with me and get some help and get more people through the door, then you can message me on my Instagram, which is MIROBEDERBIZ.